this video. Number 2, we will not buy the breakout. Instead, we will be buying the retest. The retest simply means if we have a 5-minute high and a 5-minute low, we do not want to buy this breakout, but rather we're going to buy the retest back into the 5-minute high or this pullback. This is where we want to enter for the lowest risk but the highest reward back to high of day and continuation. Once again, I'm going to show you that much more clearly in the examples. And finally, number 3, we want to wait for strong price action. This will confirm our entry every single time, and ultimately the goal of this is to give a higher win rate. So in the example that we had, we were on the 5-minute time frame and we were looking for the breakout, and that's where we were entering. But instead of entering here, what we're going to do is go to the 1-minute time frame, and this is where we're going to look for our entry. The key signals that will help us enter this trade. You can see we had the breakout on the 1-minute time frame, but now we're coming back for the retest into the 5-minute high. And this is where we want to look for those signals. Here you can see a real breakout. Why is this a real breakout? Well, this is a real breakout because we got a candle closure above the 5-minute high, but on top of this candle closure, we also got the retest. So the reason this is a real breakout is because when we get the retest and we see that buyers are stepping up on that 5-minute high, well, this shows that this 5-minute high now turned from resistance over here to support over here. And therefore, this validates this breakout as breaking above resistance and turning it into support. This makes this a very low risk, but a high reward trade. And finally, we needed to wait for that strong price action confirmation. In this one here, we can see that buyers stepped up very nicely on this big green candle and aggressively, showing that we want that next move back up into high of day. And if we actually end up playing this trade out, we can see that this trade worked out very nicely using the orb strategy, but adding a little bit of a twist to it to give us an even higher probability entry model. So now after showing you what makes a high probability orb strategy, now I'm going to show you live trading examples. This is going to be one of the most important parts of this video, because not only will I show you winning setups, but I'll also show you losing setups. And this way, by the end of the video, you'll be able to identify high probability setups much better. Okay, here we are on the first example, and we're going to let the first 5 minutes of the day play out. Of course, we are on the 1-minute time frame, and we will mark out the 5-minute high and we will mark out the 5-minute low. Now, what I will show you through these examples is the difference between buying a breakout entry compared to a high probability break and retest using the orb strategy. So for our entry, what we want is simply a break above, a retest, and continuation to either side, whether it be to the downside or to the upside. However, with normal orb, all we're going to be looking for is the breakout, and that's where we would be theoretically entering that orb entry. So let's see exactly what happens on this first trade. All right, so for this example so far, we can't consider this a breakout because we did not have a candle closure above. For breakouts, I will be using candle closures, and on this example here, we actually got that breakout. So we can see this is the orb entry that most beginner traders would be entering on, and this is going to be the breakout of the bottom of the ORB. This is where most traders enter in on, and this is where they make that mistake. So let's say we're aiming for 2R multiple. That's what I aim for every single time, like I talked about, and our stop loss is simply a break back above the candle that we're entering on. Our stop loss will be about $1,160, and our profit target will be $2,230. Let's confirm this entry and see what happens here. And unfortunately, we can see we actually got stopped out of this trade using that orb strategy with the breakout. And this is because we didn't wait for those 3 simple steps like I talked about. However, let's see if we can actually get a good entry potentially to the upside here. So now we can see on the upside move, we have this orb, which is the 5-minute high and the 5-minute low. We had this breakdown, but no retest, because as we can see, all the candles closed above the 5-minute low. But now we see this strong breakout. This is confirming, yes, we did breakout. We are getting a retest back into that 5-minute high. So the first rule is the strong breakout. The second rule is the retest. And the third rule is strong price action. Very strong buyers stepping in and bullish price action being presented. So this is a place where we can look to enter using our high probability entry model with our stop loss simply at a break of this down close candle. And we need